Hey guys, today is Thursday, May 13th. I'm really excited to get ready. Oh, he's waving at you. Really excited to get going today with Proverbs 13. Let's start. A wise child accepts a parent's discipline. A mocker refuses to listen to correction. Wise words will win you a good meal, but treacherous people have an appetite for violence. Those who control their tongue will have a long life. Opening your mouth can ruin everything. Lazy people want much, but get little. But those who work hard will prosper. The godly hate lies. The wicked cause shame and disgrace. Godliness guards the path of the blameless, but the evil are misled by sin. Some who are poor pretend to be rich. Some who are rich pretend to be poor. The rich can pay a ransom for their lives, but the poor won't even get threatened. The life of the godly is full of light and joy, but the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. Pride leads to conflict. Those who take advice are wise. Wealth from get-rich-quick schemes quickly disappears. Wealth from hard work grows over time. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a dream fulfilled is a tree of life. People who despise advice are asking for trouble. Those who respect a command will succeed.
The instruction of the wise is like a life-giving fountain. Those who accept it avoid the snares of death. A person with good sense is respected. A treacherous person is headed for destruction. Wise people think before they act. Fools don't, and even brag about their foolishness. An unreliable messenger stumbles into trouble, but a reliable messenger brings healing. If you ignore criticism, you will end in poverty and disgrace. If you accept correction, you will be honored. It is pleasant to see dreams come true, but fools refuse to turn from evil to attain them. Walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble. Trouble chases sinners, while blessings reward the righteous. Good people leave an inheritance for their grandchildren, but the sinner's wealth passes to the godly. A poor person's farm may produce much food, but injustice sweeps it all away. Those who spare the rod of discipline hate their children. Those who love the children care enough to discipline them. The godly eat to the heart's content, but the belly of the wicked goes hungry. So something that I love about this proverb, and many of the others in the book, are that there are very clear distinctions between righteousness and wisdom versus foolishness and sin. And the purpose of these instructions is not to push us towards legalism, but it's to point out that there's a balance between pursuing righteousness and holiness and also avoiding sin, because God wants to also protect us from the consequences of sin. And you can't do one without the other.
I hope this isn't as entertaining as it is for you as it is for him, because he's having a great time right now. But let's go to Proverbs 13. A wise child, or 13:1. A wise child accepts a parent's discipline. A mocker refuses to listen to correction. All right. Well, he's going to take my mic now. We might have to pass him off a little bit. But you've all probably heard that before. Maybe your parents have used it. Maybe you've heard it in other places, but it's absolutely true. And verse 2, in case you don't know what treacherous people means, that's people who betray other people. Verse 3, there's a powerful statement. Opening your mouth can ruin everything. Sometimes silence and self-control is way better than, again, even being right. Lazy people want much but get little. That's kind of like, it could be a company slogan for lazy people. Want much, get little. It's a funny thing, but it is absolutely true. And then at the end of verse 4, work hard. Hard work is a skill that will never lose its value. So right now, as you're in school or as you're working on a summer job or something like that, hard work is something that will never, ever go away, and you're never going to lose the value of that skill. And verse 5 says, the godly hate lies. That includes little white lies that seem to be worth it in the moment. The godly hate lies. Verse 6 talks about being misled by sin. Sin starts to give you an appetite for things that lead you the wrong way.
Yeah, and misled is kind of a key word there, because sin will always seem appealing, but there's always consequences to our sin. And that's why Jesus needed to come, because then he paid the ultimate penalty, because the ultimate penalty and cost to our sin is death, and Jesus came to bridge that gap so that we don't have to live apart from God.
Yeah, and in verse 7, we know people who act like they're rich and talk like they're rich but aren't. And we all know that rich people like Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates wear t-shirts that they bought at Walmart in packs of 6. So honestly, and in verse 8, we all think that we want to be rich, but being rich isn't all good, actually.
Mm-hmm. And money isn't necessarily good or evil. It's how we use that money for good or for evil. So that's a key point to make as well.
Yeah. Verse 10 talks, pride leads to conflict. Those who take advice are wise. Students, listen to good advice and be humble enough to ask for it. That's so, so important. Verse 11, wealth from get-rich-quick schemes. Let me tell you this. It only gets worse as you get older. People are going to promise you that you can get rich quick or you can do this or that. And it's almost always false. And the wealth that you get from it quickly disappears. From now to the day you die, people are going to be trying to sell you get-rich-quick schemes. Don't buy it. Verse 14, find people who give you wise instruction and listen to them often. They are rare, but they are so valuable once you find them. Keep asking them and keep them close in your life. Verse 16, wise people think before they act. It is funny. I don't know what it is about the modern era. I think it's just people have phones. But there have been multiple people busted online for videoing themselves doing illegal things, and the police find that video and use it as evidence against them. That is so common. A few months ago, there was a challenge called the Florida Man Challenge. You would Google your birthday and Florida Man. So mine would be Florida Man June 1st. And what I found is a video of a guy on Facebook Live flexing all of his money, and then the police bust in and raid his house while he's still there on the Facebook Live. He doesn't even cancel it. So basically, what that is showing that wise people think before they act. Fools don't, and even brag about their foolishness. And I think that's hilarious. So verse 18, talking about criticism. Criticism and correction is a good thing, and every one of us needs it in our lives. For example, this little dude, if I let him do whatever he wanted, he would already have half of my microphone down his belly and would need his stomach pumped. He needs a lot of correction nowadays because anything that he can get, he's going to immediately put into his mouth. And unfortunately, although we would all like to think that we are big, powerful, grown-up adults, we still need correction. And we still need help from people that are wiser than we are. Verse 19 is profound. And the question I have for you is evil, a temporary rush of evil, sweeter and more valuable than achieving your dreams? Is that you? And if it is, I just want to encourage you to rethink your priorities. Are you taking the temporary gains that aren't really worth your time or aren't worth the strife or are just evil or unwise? Are you doing those things, and are they derailing you from your ultimate dreams? Because students, if they are, I encourage you, make today be the day that you turn around and you stop doing those things. Verse 20 talks about friends and how they matter. Walk with the wise, become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble. I want you to take a quick inventory of your friends. Maybe list 5 of your closest friends and ask yourself, do they fit into the first category or the second? Are they wise? Do they help you become wise? Or are they fools? And do they help you get in trouble? It's a worthy thought to think about. And last but not least, verse 24 is my single least favorite verse for many years growing up. Those who spare the rod of discipline hate their children. Those who love their children care enough to discipline them. That was my single least favorite verse for probably like the first 11 years of my life. But now I'm actually really glad that my parents disciplined me and they loved me and cared enough about me to discipline me. And that includes once you move into high school and middle school and your parents are disciplining you or taking away your phone or grounding you. It don't feel good now. It's not great, but it's really important for your life. Anything else you have?
No, I think that's it.
All right. We love you, students. Thank you for joining us today for the Proverbs Project, and we hope to see you tomorrow.